Lordy, lordy, lordy. Here we are at the train station. Hanford. See how much juice is in this one. Oh great, it doesn't tell me how much juice I got. So I'm just gonna turn this on and juice these damn things up. Okay, so I got 43% in this one. This one records and it's mirrored. So let me power this one up too. Get this one all juiced up. So I would have been better off if I'd have got a motel in Fresno. Let's plug this one in. I would have been better off just getting a motel up there in Fresno until tomorrow. See how much juice this one has. Oh, 86%. I better check my main one. Yeah, let's check the main one. Oh, this one needs to be charged ASAP. Yeah, let's plug this one in. Okay, it's fast charging. So, there's no people in here. How's the signal? Can I go out of here and see what the charge rate is on here? No, I guess not. So I think there's an issue with the when the battery gets hot, because it did the same thing. But there's a lot of strange circumstances, a lot of bad actors. If I'd have had access to a free charge port, I could have, eliminated something. I could have eliminated this company. So I tried another company too, and of course they're probably the same damn thing, because the dude there was acting like a freaking idiot too. And they're basically being pricks. But so they had a motel right there where I could troubleshoot it to see if it's a heating problem. But if it was a heating problem, you would think that it would tell you, right, that the battery's hot, the BMS battery management system. And well, I think it's either that, or I think it's the bank. The bank turned the card off, because once they start charging a whole bunch of times on the card, they think that somebody's going crazy with it, so they shut it off. I think that might be it. So to troubleshoot that, you can go to a free charger. So I went down to this place right down the road where they're having free charger, and there was this lady, and she says, I'm just barely, right? And then another car was there parked, so I'm like, I'll just get towed home again and try to figure out why it does that. This is the second time I've gone to Fresno. On the way back, I was going fast, so I think the battery warms up, when you're doing 70, 75. That's pretty fast. But I was just going with traffic and trying to hurry up to get back to the charger. And when I got there, the charger didn't work, and there was another guy using the fast charger, and so I waited for him, and then after he left, I went over and tried getting on the fast charger. Fast charger didn't charge it either. So I went down to the place where I usually charge in Hanford. None of those worked. All of them doing the same thing like it did last time. Last time when I went to Fresno and traveled back, I was also traveling fast on the way back. So it must be that the batteries are heated up and they need to cool down before it'll start charging. So I just called the tow truck, and it's taking forever to get here. So now I gotta wait for all those holds that they put on your bank account, which is stupid, right? They need to get rid of this. Gotta wait for all those holds to clear. So I was in Lemoore, and I had to drive all the way back to Hanford to try to use these level 2 chargers, and it doesn't work. And I'm right here by the train station. It's a bunch of loud trains. So I'm trying to charge up my phones before the tow truck guy gets here. I don't know why it's taking them so long. Usually they're fast. I would have been better off if I'd have just stayed in Fresno, stayed at the motel in Fresno, and then come home in the morning. Because it was pretty hot. I mean, the temperature's getting hotter. So he should be here in about like 15 minutes. 10 or 15 minutes. Let me see what you all are saying in the comments. Yeah, but I got the one guy's name. But I think it's a bogus name. These dudes, they all sound like pricks. I'm not kidding you. They sound like straight freaking pricks. Okay. Let me see. Laughing out loud. I was going to stop right by the bank. I went right by the bank, but I guess I should have walked in there. But this shouldn't be happening for poor people. Poor people don't even have, towing. So all this stuff is geared at towing. That's why I'm thinking these companies have been bought out by big oil. And but it's hard to say without, But yeah, maybe I should have walked into the bank and said, "What's going on? Or you guys have a hold on it, right?" Or something like that. Because they think that somebody's got a hold of your something acting goofy, so they have emergency, shut off thing. Because I charged once, Lemoore, second in Fresno, third in Fresno, and then on the fourth one, that's when it shut off. When I was back in Lemoore, that's when it shut off. And then after that, that's when it really went crazy, because I went to the different company, and it says 00 right now, but this is bogus what they're doing. They shouldn't be pulling money out of your account, and then when you don't have any money in there, it automatically will not charge your car. Right? So that's freaking bogus what they're doing. Just like a regular where you pay for you can get a soda with your debit card. Why can't you get $5 worth of electricity? And so a lot of times you only charge up $3.50 of electricity. You only need 5 kilowatts. And they're sitting here, some of them take out $50 as a holding fee. This is bogus. It's put there to discourage the poor people. Because people with newer cars who have a 100 kilowatt hour battery, they don't have to deal with this kind of crap. They don't have to charge every 30 miles. So this is directed at poor people to discourage them about electric cars. Damn, I only got 3 bars. F. There. Yeah, so this guy should be here soon. Too late to call the bank now. It's already been an hour. Well, that's too damn bad. What's too damn bad? I don't know who I could write a letter to. Went all the way back to Hanford. Is Fresno cool or is Bakersfield better? Well, if I had to live one place, I'd live in Fresno. I wouldn't live in Bakersfield. Message held for review. Blonde Sanchez, you are blocked from this channel forever. Wow, and that person was leaving a lot of messages too. So we'll just sit here and wait for the tow truck driver. And the car doesn't have any of those tow hooks on front. But I mean, he should be here already. So I got to have my card ready for it when he gets here. Then he has to see the driver's license. So there's driver's license. There's my card. I think sometimes they just have to see the driver's license. So I just put that there. So next time, if I try going to Fresno, I got to try something different, because this is the second time it's done it. I've only attempted going to Fresno twice, and it probably will get worse as it gets hotter and hotter. And so the signal is excellent, so I don't have to monitor it. I'll turn this off so that this phone can get charged up. Yeah. What a drag. Wouldn't be so bad if you can have a cold beer, right? Then you really wouldn't really care. You'd just be kicking back having a good time, but you can't. It's against the law, not unless you were in Las Vegas. Or maybe I should not drive so fast on the way back, because I was going up to 75 miles an hour. And that's too fast. But I don't have cruise control. If I had cruise control, I could just put it on 62 and don't worry about it. But I don't have cruise control. And I'm still waiting for the rebate, the PG&E rebate. It's been over a month, and they said that it usually takes a month, and it's been probably a month and a half. And I resubmitted. They said they needed the PG&E bill again. I don't know why they need the PG&E bill when they are PG&E. They should have the bill. And so I resubmitted that like, what, 2 weeks ago? So that's the last document that they needed. But yeah, it's been about a month and a half. And haven't heard nothing from them. So yeah, for a while there, I was checking every day checking on the rebate, status of the rebate. There's supposed to be a timer switch. I don't know why they would put something like that in here. That there's a button over here that says it's got a symbol of a charging cable, but how come it never does that? Only when I go up to Fresno and come back, and I'm driving fast all the way from Fresno. I'm just keeping up with traffic, actually. I think the battery's too hot. That's why it will not engage. The machine turns on. It's when it turns on and it checks your voltage, and it'll flash like open circuit. It's like 480 volts, and so that's how it knows what kind of voltage to charge your battery at, and then it'll kick on. But this one, it's like the battery management system has opened up the contacts because it's too hot. The battery is too hot. So when this thing goes in and tries to check for the for the um for the uh, uh, open voltage, the 480 volts or whatever your car is, it doesn't see anything because the battery management system uh disconnected the circuit to the battery. It won't let any energy go in there. But that's kind of weird, because if that was the case, then why does it still turn on and run? If the battery was too hot, you know, just running it is going to take a lot of uh, energy. That's going to still make the battery hot. But another way to test that would be to go get a motel and try it in the morning. But that's like, $100 for a motel. Who has that kind of cash? But eventually, I guess I will have to troubleshoot that. It's never acted up when I got back to Hanford, back to Avenel. But when I'm traveling back to Avenel, I'm only doing, 60 miles an hour at most, 60 or 62 max. So today was hot, and you're on that freeway from Fresno, and everybody's going fast. So they're doing 75 and 80. So I kept up with them. And I guess that makes the battery hot. That's what I'm thinking, because I go and I went over to that fast charger. But it's still kind of funny, because the guy who was charging there, he wasn't even pulled into the charger. It's goofy. And then that lady who was sitting there, it's too many strange coincidences. And now this AAA driver's taking forever. They're usually fast. Last time he was sitting right there, I pulled in right behind him. Last time this happened, down at the charger, he was sitting right there already. So I went up and I talked to him, and I pulled up right behind him and got towed. But that's when it was cold and foggy. Now it's not a big deal, but they had the motel right there. But I'm just like, where are the free chargers around here? I got to find the free chargers besides the one right there by the Walmart, because that place never has a parking. There's always a car in there. And so yeah, that's my next endeavor. My next endeavor is to find where they have the free chargers here in Hanford. Nobody else is leaving messages. Tow truck driver will be here in a little while. So today is Wednesday. Is today Wednesday? Yep. March 11. So I got the book out, started reading, on the charging circuits. And it says, yes, there is a timer, but I don't want to go into where it says timer. You can go in there and fool around. I'm not going to mess around with that stuff till later. I don't want to make more variables. Oh, here it tells you what auto's for. Oh, that's just for the lock. To select auto mode, push the auto. Decharge. Oh. And then some of the instructions here, some of the instructions are for the other model. It says push the park's position switch to place the vehicle in park. So I was in park. When the power switch is in on position, the battery will not start charging. And that's weird because I thought I've had this thing on. I have to try it later. Connect the charge connector to the charge port. Yeah. It says it's connected normally if it beeps once, and it does. It beeps once, so that means it's connected normally. So there just needs to be more information. Because this particular car is notorious for the battery overheating. Let me call this AAA and ask them what the hell's going on. This is crazy.
Thank you for calling AAA. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. Are you calling from Utah?
No.
What state are you calling from?
California?
If you are calling from Washington, D.C.
California.
Are you calling from California?
Yes.
Okay. What city are you in or near?
Hanford.
If you're unsure,
Hello?
Yeah, I'm driving for
Okay, so I gotta park out the street. I guess I could park this way. No, it'd be better that way. That way you can go over there. And then you can go that way and catch the freeway. Better than going through here. Yeah, it's got to be that way. So I'm going to park out here. Should I try charging it up one more time? You think it's cooled down by now? Okay, it's got to be in park. How do you know when it's in park? it's in park, and they say put the e-brake on. E-brake's on. It's not giving me a warning. Okay, so yeah, it starts to go. So I'm going to put it in park. Okay, there's park, and I turn it off. Okay, now wait for that light to turn off. Okay, I'm going to try it one more time. Try it with the credit card. Okay, charge. Yeah. Yeah, I think the bank has the card turned off. I think, and they won't tell you. The charging place won't tell you that the card is being rejected. That's probably what it is. I mean, I checked my bank account. It says there's plenty of money, but I think when they see something unusual, because it's usually I just go to Hanford and back, right? When they see something unusual that, you just charged up an hour ago and now you're charging up again, and that not even 20 minutes and you're charging again in a different town. So I think that's what it's doing. It's turned off. So anyway, I'm a little bit amped off this coffee, which was pretty bad. I should have taken it back and got my money back because it was cold when they gave it to me. Here he is. Okay. Let me go park out in the street. The address was over here. I don't know what he's out on. Okay, he's probably wants to take a break. I guess he wants me to follow him. I guess I could go right into this. Calling me, and he's right here in front of me. Where do you want me to park? Where do you want me to park at? Right here? You want me to?
Is this one, this car?
Huh? You want me to park right here?
Yes, here is fine.
What about these cars?
No, it's fine.
Okay. I just don't like the way they put the hooks on the vehicle. You want me to drive it up?
No, it's fine. I'm looking for Toyota.
No, it's Nissan.
In here? No.
I told her no. I told her Nissan.
Yes.
No, she called me up over there. I told her
Oh, it's
Nissan.
okay, no, fine.
The Prius, it's got a flat tire at home.
Oh.
I haven't used the Prius in a month.
No problem. I take this.
Okay.
You need to ride with me? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want me to drive it up there?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, leave it there.
Okay.
I'm going to put the neutral.
Put it in neutral?
Yes.
Okay.
What's wrong with the car?
It won't charge.
Won't charge?
I think the battery got too hot because I went to Fresno.
Okay.
I went to Fresno and I was driving real fast. So I think the battery is overheated.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay, he says he wants it in neutral. So let me see. Neutral. Okay, first I put it in park, then put it in neutral. It won't go into neutral. Park. Select up. Yeah, it won't go into neutral. That's weird. Why won't it go into neutral? Okay, there's reverse, there's park. It'll do everything, but it won't go into neutral. It won't go into neutral. It will not go into neutral.
No?
I can drive if you want me to.
Okay.
Okay. He's gonna let me. Damn, he shouldn't be getting under there like that. How do you blank out the screen? You touch this one? Mark. Turn it off. Everything's off. Yeah. See where it grips down there? All right. The other phone. Is this still working? Okay, that's the other phone. Here's my. Okay, that's the main phone. And it's hot. The main phone is hot. So I'm back. And what side are you going? What side is this thing on? Okay, yeah, this is a dark camera. So I'm back. Anybody in here? Is this thing still? Is it still functioning? I can't tell. Let's turn these on. And that's the phone that I usually. So I'm back home, and it looks like it's either going to be one of two things. Either those mother effers. Either those mother effers. I don't know who it is. Okay. Either those mother effers are doing it, or, well, it could be because, you know, that when the tow truck is bringing it, it could be that cools down the battery, right? Because it's cold outside. So figure it out. But yeah, it's charging on low charge. Where if I had that plug I was talking about the other night, remember I was talking about that plug? That cost $25, then I could be charging it up over there at 5,000 watts. So it looks like I'm going to have to do that. But yeah, I want to find out how much. I mean, first of all, let me check my signal, because probably the signal doesn't even work. The guy was pretty cool, but man, that is something else. You know, I think I'd rather wash dishes. If I could ever get into the, oh, I shouldn't be, oh man, I shouldn't be cleaning these with these are my prescription things. I forgot. Yeah, if I could get into some type of income-based housing, I think I'd rather wash dishes. So anyway, let me check something here. Let me check my signal first of all. and then I'll go over to something else. I don't know if this thing turned back on or not, so I'm gonna check. What took about an hour? Man, it seemed like it took forever in that truck. That truck that's I've driven in, I mean, I've been in better trucks and more smooth. This one's like whoa, whoa, probably got 1,000,000 miles on it or something. Okay, so this is the one here. Let me see if it's, yeah, still working. It's just that there's no people in here. Okay, so I know it's still working. So I'm gonna ask Google. What was I gonna ask Google? I forgot what I was gonna ask Google. When I go back and watch the video, I'll remember. But oh yeah, I remember. After your calls run out of your allotment on AAA roadside assistance, how much do they charge for towing?
Towing services will be charged. Expect to pay between $2 and $5 per mile, but some areas might charge up to $10 to $15 per mile.
How much do they charge for towing? That's weird. Out of pocket at negotiated charges are based on two. What? That's freaking crazy. That's freaking crazy. I need to make something to where I can troubleshoot the crap and that's just wrong. It's one or the other. Well, it could be three different things. And so I have to work on this. That way, if it happens again, I can just stay at the freaking motel until the next day. Because if I go down here and try to charge and it doesn't charge, then that means it's the bank. And I put plenty of money in there. So hopefully next year I'll have a car with twice as much range. If you have twice as much range, you won't have to deal with it. But the car I saw on for sale was $6,500 for twice the range, and that's like $2,000 more than it should be. You should be able to get that vehicle. It's I think it's a 2017, Yeah, it was a 2017, and it was 140, 150. I think it was 140-mile range, and so that's too much because I seen a 2016 nice looking blue car. It was 2016 down in San Luis Obispo, so you know, um, the weather's cool over there, and it had a brand new battery. They put a brand new battery in it. It was getting 150-mile range, and they were taking off to the East Coast, so they were letting it go for $6,500. That's the same price, huh? Yeah, it was 6,500. But I think it was a 2018. I don't know. I don't remember. But that's $2,000 too much. It should be 45, not 65. And so let me pull up my Leaf Spy. Yeah, but those guys down there are freaking jerks, dude. If you get an electric car, you call these places and you'll see what I mean. They're freaking jerks. They don't like Americans for whatever reason. Who the hell knows? But they're very freaking um they just have a real crappy attitude and demeanor. It's like you want to backhand them. You freaking prick. Okay, so what's going on with BTC? Bitcoin. I gave a prediction, right? I said it's going down this Friday. That will be 10 days after the full moon. And it's Friday the 13th. So that's my prediction. I think it's going to take a freaking huge dive on Friday the 13th. And this is going to be the final squeeze. So we shall see. Yeah, everybody thought it was going to the moon because Bitcoin King, the dude who has more Bitcoin than anybody except for the dude who invented it, who no one knows who he is or where he is, I think. But the second one who has the most Bitcoin, just out of nowhere, he bought 50, it was either 5 or 50 billion dollars worth. Where it's at right now, 70. And so everybody was completely depressed, right? They were just like, man, whoever got in when they thought it was going to the moon, and it was at all-time high, close to like 130. So I guess a lot of people got in, and I don't know if they put their positions on spot. I don't know if it was all retail, but here they are. What is it? 5 months later, and it's just, they lost a lot. And so here comes Bitcoin King and buys up $50 billion worth. So everybody thought, okay, insider trading, we're going to the moon. I'm telling you, it's not. This Friday, I think it's going to dip, if not before. And because these are basically the first 10 days after the full moon. That's, if you go back and you look on full moons, you can see it will usually dip. It dips more than it rises. It usually dips more than it will rise on a full moon. On a new moon, I don't know when the next new moon, that's when it typically rises. But anyhow, let me check my whatchamacallit. Yeah, so let me see what it is real quick. Let me guess. 67.9. No. 68.2. Let's see. 69.3. So not as close as last time, but yeah, so that's what it's doing. And I'm looking at the 1 year chart. I just want to take a quick look here. Yeah. Yep, it's ready. Before Friday, but I'm thinking Friday because it's Friday the 13th. Okay? Because they always do things on numbers and things like that. So let me check my, whatchamacallit. Yeah, that was rough, man. Seemed like that ride took forever. Okay. Wow, this thing is charging so slow. Damn. It's on level 1 charging. It'll take forever. I got to order that thing for $25. First thing I got to do is take that tire off of the Prius and take it in to get repaired. I don't know if it can be repaired or not. I guess what I could do is air it up myself. I'll take the wheel off and then air it up with the air compressor. I've got an air compressor, and put water on it, see what's going on with it. Because I just moved it from right there to right here. I was trying to mow underneath the car. Damn, this thing's charging so slow. So I guess I should have ordered the, whatchamacallit. I'll go in there and order it now. I just completely lost my appetite. I mean, I was glad that I got through that hurdle, and then see what happens. It's freaking bull crap, man. But maybe I shouldn't be driving so fast. 75's too fast. Why does everybody drive so fast? Don't they know that's dangerous? Yeah, especially with these tires. It needs new tires. That was kind of stupid. And I got that spare tire. I still need to check. You see this kind of stuff they do? I would not be surprised if that spare does not fit. This is the kind of crap these idiots do. So I got to raise this car up too and try that spare. I wanted to leave it in the box, right? It's cleaner that way, but that's dumb. I need to check that spare, just make sure it fits, and take the tire, take the wheel off of the Prius tomorrow and put some air in it and see if it's got what it's wrong with it. If it's something that can't be repaired, then, I'm just going to have to wait. So, yeah, but I'm like, man, I was telling the guy, say, are they running you? Are they running you hard right now or something? Because the whole windshield was covered with bugs. That's freaking crazy. That's no bueno. If you're going that fast, you don't have time to. I mean, I've been there. It happened to me last summer uh, with the bugs. So, yeah. You got to make sure you have a windshield washer. I need to check the washer fluid on this car. So it barely went up 0.1. So if I try driving over there to the fast charger, no way, it's too stupid. Got to let the car charge up. It'll probably have enough to travel over there at midnight. That's just messed up. Theoretically, it has enough to go over there and come back. But I ain't about to make another call to AA, AAA, right? You want to save those for, if your calls were all used up, yeah, because they're only going to charge you so much per mile to get you from there to here. But like I say, I think I'd rather wash dishes than to deal with those freaking dodo birds out there. So that let me know right there. That was something spiritual. So, I guess what I need to do is somehow put in some applications at housing for older people, right? 52 and older living. This guy was telling me that there's some real nice apartments for the 52 and over. That way I could just, get a job washing dishes. But that's almost close to fast food, right? So, there's some people in fast food who are, they're totally against this clean energy and renewable energy and non-GMO stuff. Everything's, anybody who's for good, doing things that are right, doing things that are good for Mother Earth, fairness and equality, they're freaking shit out of luck because the evil ones rule everything. And evil people will more easily shit on you. They will shit on you 100 times faster than one good person would lift a finger to help you. That's our dilemma. And not just for the homeless and poor people that, we suffer. We are afflicted with selfish pig-itis, because 95% of the people are living cushy. They're living in house. No, actually it's got to be like about 80%. 80 to 85%, because 11% are homeless and 5% are living in dilapidated housing, like third world country conditions. 5%. 11% are homeless. I think you can ask how many people are living in dilapidated housing. So that's the problem. They give the people just enough so that they don't stand up against the status quo. But yeah. Those dudes who are on the other side of the line, I told you Elaine Chao, strangely enough, Elaine Chao is a CEO. She's one of the leadership in this company, the ChargePoint company. That's pretty strange. But I think it was bought out by Big Oil. That's a drop in the bucket for Big Oil. So if anybody, anybody they don't like, they just turn your chip off. What are you going to do about it? They sound like extraterrestrials. It sounds like a little freaking prick. Did I record it when he was talking on the phone? I don't think I did. But I should, because they're recording. So I tell him, hey, F you, dude. You're recording me, so I'm freaking recording you. Right? If they ever take you to court. Because you're supposed to let the person know that you're recording them. So they're recording you. So I'm start recording their ass so that you can hear these freaking pricks. So I'm going to go inside because this is going to take forever. I mean, it is going to take, till midnight. 4 hours at this rate. At this rate, let me see here. Yeah, at this rate, it's going to take till midnight. So, there's 0 people in here. Signing out from Coalinga. I started this video in Hanford, and during the tow truck ride up here, I turned the video off and turned it back on when we got here, where I let the car down, and then I turned it off. Well, it actually turned off by itself. And then I turned it back on once I got here at home. And so you can see that the vehicle is charging. See the light? It did the same thing last time. So, when the car was on the tow truck, back then it was foggy. Last time this happened. And so we had driven down to Coalinga from Hanford, and by the time we got to Hanford, it charged up. So I'm thinking the battery's overheating. And it cooled down by the time we got over there. Because I let the car, it was cooling down. And you can hear relays clicking on and off. You can hear a relay clicking in the front and the back. That's why I kept trying it. So, um, there's 3 different things it could be. And, so I have to be working on this, but right now my mind is so a blur. You know, I think it's them. They were sitting there waiting because it's too strange. That dude, I was about to record him. I should have recorded it, got the license plate number. Okay. But I had started talking to the guy so it wouldn't look right. It would just, it would be bizarre. And, but next time, when I see something strange like that, I'm going to get out and start documenting it on live stream. Okay. Do you understand the psychology there? It would have been all right for me to do that. Okay. But since I started talking to the person, it would have been bizarre if I would have done that. Okay. And so that's where I messed up. I should have known the minute I saw that frickin' truck there. Should have caught it on video. So live and learn, right? Okay, so I guess I'm gonna go have some pomegranate juice with vinegar. And that I'll be doing that tomorrow, so I'll probably video record it. And if there's anything else that needs to be talked about, I haven't checked anything what's going on, with the war and stuff like this. I told you I think the whole thing is fake, just like they faked it before. They faked the war before, then they found out they were faking it. And you'll never know until there's freedom of speech, and that country has no freedom of speech. They don't even allow YouTube. What is wrong with this picture? And so, um, you know, I don't know what the hell these people are doing over there, right? Because, first of all, we don't have freedom of speech here. They don't let you take these live streams into the courtrooms because they know it's freaking bogus. They know that the whole thing is freaking corrupt. That's our First Amendment, is freedom of speech. And yet they're telling you to get your ass out of there. It's a closed courtroom. We're going to seek justice. Freaking liars. You're all covering for each other. They all run everything. They're a big pile of freaking Lucifer and the fallen angels. So there's no freaking solution. There's no solution if you don't have freedom of speech. Put David Icke in there and they will be exposed. They're here. They're here. So that's our, that's where we're at. You heard what David Icke said about these rascals, right? So why won't they let him over there? Oh, because the people will panic, right? There'll be mob rule if the people find out that the extraterrestrials are here. So, guess what? It's for the greater good. There is no First Amendment. There is no freedom of speech. You just have to trust us. We know better. It's righteous that we have slaves and make people slave, work their ass off, while we act like, put on this facade of we're the man, the macho man, right? Depends on how much money you have. A big old facade of freaking pricks. Straight freaking pricks. All right, so signing out. Like I said, I think this is something, spiritual, and so I'm gonna be working on that tire. I've got a jack. I've got a good jack. I spent like I don't remember how much it was. It was the good jack. That's when I was attempting to do work on the car, which I never did. But I attempted to almost. I was taking off the brake drum. As soon as I took the brake drum, the freaking car went out. And so um so I've got a good jack. So I'm going to take the jack out of the shed and um and lift that car up, take the wheel off, or before I even do that, I'm just going to air the tire up. I'm going to put the air compressor on there and maybe just lift the car a little bit with the jack and air it up and take the water hose. I don't think that water hose works there. I'm going to take that water hose and throw it away. I need some new water hoses, and they're expensive. And see if the tire can be repaired. If not, I don't know. I have to have the car. So I have to order a tire. These tires that are on the Prius are from Ukraine. They're Primori Salazos. Primori Salazos. How good they are, I don't know, but the tread on them looks really good. That's why I bought them. But who knows what it could be. The dude who repaired, I used to go to this tire guy. He used to do the tires. He knew all kinds of experience on tires. All these other freaking bozos, dude, they're a freaking joke. And I think the guy put the wrong valve stem on there. It could be the valve stem. We'll find out tomorrow. And so I'm gonna do that. And what did I have to do to this car? Well, this car needs tires. Definitely needs tires. Needs that tire. It's pretty bald. It's not bald, but it needs to be replaced. And so I was thinking, of putting the Primori Salazos on it, but I'm thinking maybe I better not. Maybe I should just, put those U.S. Generals on there. I think that's what's on here. The ones you get at Pep Boys. Maybe they're more heavy duty and I don't know. I don't know what. But I'm going to have some pomegranate juice with vinegar and salt because I lost my appetite. I don't know if it's because of the coffee, but I haven't eaten all day, except for that McDonald's cheeseburger. But other than that, I just lost my appetite. Knowing that there's these pricks. They've got to be extraterrestrials because they're like little freaking demons. You know how they show those little tiny aliens? That's what they're like. They're little freaking pricks. And so next time I'm going to record they ass so you can hear a prick for yourself. Okay? Signing out from the ranch. I know everything looks dark with this phone, but I'm just, all shook up from being stranded out there, knowing that they're doing this crappy stuff to the poor people. That is the lowest of the low. That is shitty beyond belief. These freaking devils need to be exposed for the pricks that they are because they are putting on a facade that they are the man, right? They're putting on this facade that they're the man and they're freaking pricks. This facade needs to be exposed. Judge a man by the content of his character, not by the content of his bank account, like everybody does, because their moral compass is from all the shit they watch on TV. Okay, we'll talk to you in a little while.